He who sweeps the compound diligently will eventually sweep beyond the compound. In other words, diligence and hard work lead to broader opportunities. Starting with the immediate responsibilities can lead to more significant achievements. Simple words, but very powerful and meaningful. These are some of the things that have been passed down to us. Listen to this. The tongue is what sets the words, and the day is what sets the tongue. How poetic is that? You see, sometimes we just talk very carelessly, and because we don't understand or respect language. And the Yoruba tradition is very intentional with the language it uses, very particular, because when words are so powerful. What's that saying about something about I don't know, I can't remember the exact thing, but words can actually do more damage than the pen, so we're now in a time in society where people say the most abysmal, disgusting, harmful things to one another. We shouldn't be part of that. We shouldn't be part of that. We should set ourselves apart from that. Speak with integrity. Speak with intentions of kindness, of warmth. Yes, when you have to speak firmly, you do that too. Don't get it twisted. But even within that, do it with dignity. A fellow, brother, sister, the way you address them, the way you embrace who they are, the way you show that you see their humanity, that is honoring them and honoring the people that they come from. Let's take a minute and think about how we talk to one another. It's so important because you can see, again, like I said, how people talk to us. So if we're doing the same thing, then what are we doing here? I'll give you another proverb. He who sweeps the compound diligently will eventually sweep beyond the compound. In other words, diligence and hard work lead to broader opportunities. Starting with the immediate responsibilities can lead to more significant achievements. Simple words, but very powerful and meaningful. These are some of the things that have been passed down to us. Listen to this. The tongue is what sets the words, and the day is what sets the tongue. How poetic is that? The tongue is what sets the words, and the day is what sets the tongue. This highlights the influence of timing and context on communication, suggesting the appropriateness of words depends on the situation. You see, sometimes we just talk very carelessly, and because we don't understand or respect language. And the Yoruba tradition is very intentional with the language it uses, very particular, because when words are so powerful. What's that saying about something about I don't know, I can't remember the exact thing, but words can actually do more damage than the pen, so we, and we're now in a time in society where people say the most abysmal, disgusting, harmful things to one another. We shouldn't be part of that. We shouldn't be part of that. We should set ourselves apart from that. Speak with integrity. Speak with intentions of kindness, of warmth. Yes, when you have to speak firmly, you do that too. Don't get it twisted. But even within that, do it with dignity. So that's what I wanted to share. I hope that answered the question somewhat.
Thank you so much. That is powerful. That is lovely. I like the way you approach it. Of course, I'm going to pass the mic to you after when we go around, so at least you let the people know how they can benefit from your service, because that is this is important. I remember before we started to record, I was saying something to the effect that this is a mission. It really is a mission. What we are doing here is a mission. People have a lot of benefit from that. And also the proverb that you share, they are inestimable. We can't even calculate the importance of them. But maybe I will suggest for another time, if it is possible to first say those proverbs in Yoruba, in your language, whatever is your language. Of course, you are coming from Yoruba culture, and then say it again in English, because that will give it more appropriation as the give it more.
That
Yeah, please go.
that that's only if Brother Olatunji is not here, because his Yoruba is probably better than mine. But I'll try. I'll try.
It's okay. Thank you so much for that sharing. All right, so Olatunji, I'll pass it back to you. Maybe you can throw in maybe one or two there. In my place, it will be said, I don't know your monogwa sevigo gore. That is Esa in south of Nigeria. The meaning is that, or actually the literary interpretation would mean that you don't use your mouth to tell a child to get out of the smoke. When you are in the smoke, you should know whether it is good for you to come out or not to come out. Of course, that talk about the sense of maturity and being able to know what is good for you or what is not good for you. Another version of this would be, I don't know your moving on. That interpretation in English would mean somebody who climb up, you don't tell the person, hey, hold something so that you don't fall. If you are intelligent enough to climb up to a tree, you should know that you need to hold something, because if you don't hold something, you are going to fall. Nobody need to tell you that, So all these are, of course, telling people about maturity, knowing that there are responsibility for the action that you are taking. How is that relevant to what we are talking about today? It is what we have already said. The four of us have already said it in different ways, that it is your duty to first honor yourself. I think Gloria was really very hard on that just now, that you must honor yourself first before other people can honor you. Because if you don't honor yourself, the message that you are transmitting to the other people will mean that you are not a person of honor. So they don't need to give you honor. But if you honor yourself, then they know that you are a person of honor. If they decide not to honor you, it means they are erring on their part. They know that they are erring, of course, because a criminal or a thief, let's be clear on that, know that what he or she is going to steal does not belong to him or her. But he or she still goes there to steal. But there are rules, there are punishments for those kind of things. But in the regular way of life, you don't just go to steal other people's property, because you know it is not your property. So that is an exception. You see, Gloria talking before also made mention of how she dressed. That when people look at her, you always dress in African attire, because that is how she wants to be addressed. She is intentional about that. So that is what those parables also will mean, in that we should know why we are doing what we are doing, and we are doing it intentionally. We know the consequences of what we are doing and the consequences of us not doing them. All of it, of course, speak to the sense of maturity, of responsibility. All these are important for us. So thank you so much for throwing in some parable there. I think we should make it a habit here to do that often, so that we connect people to where these things are coming from. Olatunji, if you can also throw one or two there, it will be highly valuable. And of course, the question I have for you is this. In your work, or maybe in your understanding, not necessarily in your business, what is your recommendation on how to better honor ourselves through storytelling? Please go ahead.
All right. So interesting. Thank you so much for those parable, Madam Gloria. I really appreciate that. Please, in honor, anytime you want to speak your own version of Yoruba, please feel free to do that. You're welcome. Yeah, so welcome. You see, these things, they are so powerful. Yoruba is, any without apology to anybody, right? I'm just being very dignified by my language. Yoruba is the most complete language in the